The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of February 24 to 28 indicate that Claire Newman will find herself trapped in a crisis, while Jack Abbott gets a shock and Victor Newman reveals a discovery. For starters, Victor will have some important updates for Lily Winters regarding the info she asked for. Lily pushed Victor to investigate Damien Kane, so Victor will report his findings soon enough. Will there be any signs of shady behavior in Damien's past? Could there be some buried criminal cover-ups or some other things that'll add to Lily's concerns about Nate Hastings' half-brother? Regardless, Nate will proceed with caution when it comes to Damien, so building trust won't be easy. I and our spoilers say Nate's priority will be guarding Amy Lewis' heart from any additional pain that Damien might cause. Over with Kyle Abbott, he'll await the results of a loyalty test. Claire may find herself torn between the Newmans and Abbotts thanks to Kyle's request. Could Kyle push Claire to do some snooping and try to figure out what Victor's up to? Since Victor dropped hints about an upcoming Abbott blow-up, Kyle may ask Claire to help protect his family. That could leave Claire conflicted since she won't want to provoke Victor's fury, but she also can't condone his revenge plot. Claire might feel obligated to at least look into things and see what she can find out. Could Claire do some eavesdropping and discover the spies that have been planted at Gibbot? If Claire has an opportunity to derail Victor's scheme, will she blab to Kyle and Jack? Speaking of Jack, he's in for a shock once he sees the results of Diane Jenkins Abbott's mansion refresh. Diane has made plenty of positive predictions about Jack's reaction, so will he love the changes and prove her right? Meanwhile, it looks like Phyllis Summers will find creative ways to pull Billy Abbott closer while sabotaging his romance with Sally Spectra. Summer Newman will have a similar idea, at least once she stops living in denial of her feelings for Kyle. It won't be long until Summer sees an opening to win her ex back, so she'll take advantage of all the obstacles that are landing in Kyle and Claire's path. Next, Audra Charles will struggle to keep her past with Holden Novak under wraps. Nate may become increasingly suspicious if he catches Holden and Audra spending more time together. There's also the potential for Holden to pursue a romantic reunion with Audra since he doesn't seem to be over her. Audra tried to downplay their history, but Holden doesn't seem ready to let go just yet. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the week of February 24 to 28 will bring some twists and turns, so don't miss all the stunning news and heated face-offs to come. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Pulse Canvas. It's me, Jolie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, February 21 reveal that Summer Newman will work a new Kyle Abbott angle, while Victor Newman's deep dive pays off. For starters, Summer should remain legitimately concerned about Phyllis Summers falling off the face of the earth. It's strange for Phyllis to just go radio silent like this, and it's even stranger for her to miss a family breakfast she arranged. Although Summer is truly worried, she can still use the situation to her advantage when it comes to Kyle. It looks like Summer will unload her concerns during a conversation with Kyle and Claire Newman at the coffee house. Summer might try to get Kyle's sympathy and enjoy having him comfort her in front of Claire. Whatever the case, talk will eventually turn to Victor and how he shut down Kyle's attempt to win him over. Summer may express doubt about Victor ever changing his mind and insist he'll make it his mission to make Kyle's life miserable. That could affect Claire as well, so Summer may offer a warning about the trouble ahead. At some point on Friday's I and R episode, Kyle will put Claire through a loyalty test. It's possible Kyle will bring up Victor's latest plot against the Abbotts and push Claire to find out more about her grandpa's plans. In the meantime, Victor will move forward with his deep dive on Damien Kane. Since Victor agreed to investigate Damien, he'll put his resources to good use and grant Lily's wish. Victor's investigation is sure to pay off one way or another. Either Victor will uncover plenty of Damien info, or he'll see signs of shadiness if Damien totally covered his tracks. Regardless, Lily may see an opportunity to get closer to Damien and manipulate him. Damien is clearly intrigued by Lily, so she can use his attraction to her advantage. Since Lily refused to have dinner and urged Damien to ask again once he made peace with Amy Lewis, it seems Damien will indeed make an effort to patch things up with his mom. Nate Hastings may suspect Damien's motives aren't sincere, since he'll work to guard Amy's heart on Friday's show. As for Lily, our predictions hint she may agree to Damien's second dinner attempt with an agenda of her own. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Lily and Damien have a messy romance ahead of them, so stay tuned for updates on any shocking news and flying sparks. The Young and the Restless recap for Thursday, February 20, reveals that Phyllis Summers' disappearance will be investigated, so Billy Abbott will get an SOS in Paris. After Billy and Sally Spectre return from the bistro, they'll get ready to nap and spend some time between the sheets. Back in Genoa City, Daniel Romalotti Jr. and Summer Newman will grow increasingly concerned over Phyllis' vanishing act. Summer and Daniel still won't be able to get in touch with Phyllis, who won't show up for the family breakfast she pushed for. Daniel will call Billy to see if he's heard from Phyllis, so Billy will mention Phyllis reaching out earlier with updates on Daniel taking the job. There was nothing out of the ordinary to Billy since Phyllis seemed fine and was excited about Daniel joining the team. After Billy reminds Daniel that Phyllis is spontaneous, he'll throw out some ideas on where she might be, including a last-minute Chicago trip or even a date. Daniel will think they'd know if Phyllis was dating anyone and will struggle to believe she'd willingly let them worry like this. Summer will have concerns as well and wish she'd taken Daniel's concerns more seriously last night. After Billy disconnects from Daniel, he'll leave Phyllis a voicemail pushing her to call her kids since they're worried about her. Billy will also urge Phyllis to text him when she gets his message. Sally will sense that Billy's concerned too and will wonder if he wants to head back to Genoa City. Billy will argue that Phyllis would probably be found by the time his flight landed. Besides, Billy will want to enjoy his last night in Paris with Sally, so he'll insist on staying put with her. Once Summer calls Chance Chancellor over to the GCAC, he'll find out Phyllis is missing. Summer will ask Chance to help track Phyllis down, since it'd be a good step toward making up for everything he put Daniel through. While Chance agrees to look into Phyllis' disappearance, Amy Lewis will have some news for Nate Hastings and Audra Charles across town. Since Amy will assume Damian Kane went back to Los Angeles, she'll suggest that maybe it's time for her to head home too. Audra will pipe up about Holden Novak reaching out with a lunch offer and will suggest he might be the way to get through to Damian. Nate will urge Amy to let Audra dazzle Holden, just as long as Audra doesn't let Holden dazzle her in return. Audra will assure Nate that it's not possible and continue to pretend she has no prior connection to Holden. After Audra gets confirmation via text that Damian is still in town as well, she'll head off to see what she can do. Nate will hold out hope that Damian will agree to see Amy again and hear her out. It'll take some convincing, but Amy will relent on Nate sending her medical records to his friend who works in oncology research. At Crimson Lights, Damian will talk to Holden about Lily Winters being the reason he decided to stick around Genoa City. After Damian admits he did some digging and found out who Lily was, he'll explain to Holden that they aren't blood-related. Damian will remain attracted to Lily as he approaches her and introduces himself. Lily will get an introduction to Holden as well, so she'll take some jabs about their fake Damian scam. After Holden exits, Damian will confess that Lily's the reason why he didn't fly out as planned. Lily will find that heartbreaking rather than flattering, since she'll think Damian needs to focus on his mom right now. Lily will also question how Damian became such a huge success in such a short amount of time. Damian will admit he makes his own rules, but he'll claim he achieved his empire legitimately. After Damien asks Lily to have dinner with him, she'll suggest he should try again once he's made peace with Amy. At Society, Audra will meet with Holden and push him to change Damien's mind about seeing his mother. Holden will drop a hint about the woman Damien stuck around Genoa City for, but he won't offer details. Back with Damien, he'll shock Amy and Nate when he shows back up at Nate's apartment looking for his mom. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Amy will have a lot more to say to Damien, so we'll bring you predictions on the road ahead for these two. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, February 20, reveal that Sally Spectra will be jealous over Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers' connection, while Audra Charles grills Holden Novak. First, let's talk about Holden, who will secretly meet up with Audra again. Audra was hesitant to even take this meeting, so she'll want to make sure the risk is worth it in the end. That's why Audra will put Holden through a grilling session and push for Damien Kane intel. Audra may have questions about Damien's business and how he became such a success story so quickly. Of course, Audra will still be hoping that Holden and Damien are headed back to Los Angeles ASAP. Bad news is coming up for Audra, instead, since she'll eventually find out Damien and Holden are sticking around. My and our spoilers say Damien will deliver a shocker to Nate Hastings and Amy Lewis on Thursday's episode. Damien may admit he molded over and is now open to trying to make amends with his sick mom. Damien might even consider getting to know Nate and bonding with him as his half-brother. However, Nate will keep his guard up when it comes to Damien, especially after this apparent change of heart. It could leave Nate worried about Damien's motives, so he'll definitely want to watch out for Amy and try to help her avoid any further heartbreak. In Paris, Sally won't be able to hide her true feelings when it comes to Billy and Phyllis' connection. It's possible Phyllis could crash the trip in person, but it's also possible she'll just resort to more calls, texts, and voicemails. Whatever the case, Sally's jealousy will bubble up a bit when it comes to Phyllis and Billy's bond. Even if Sally doesn't view Phyllis as a romantic threat just yet, she might voice complaints about Phyllis' constant interruptions. Sally may also have concerns about Phyllis' reckless side and how she might bring out Billy's worst impulses. Although Sally will have multiple reasons to worry about these exes working together, Billy may offer reassurance and suggest Phyllis is harmless, even if she's been annoying lately. Our Vi and our predictions point to Phyllis pursuing Billy and trying to steal him away from Sally, especially after that hot dream she had. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Phyllis will make some bold moves in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for updates on all the curveballs ahead. The Young and the Restless scoop for Thursday, February 20 reveals Nate Hastings will be surprised to see Damien Kane at his door. Also coming up, Lily Winters will meet Damien and Holden Novak, plus Summer Newman and Daniel Romalotti will worry about Phyllis Summers. And Sally Spectra will ask Billy Abbott if he wants to return home. My and our spoilers tease Daniel will call Phyllis, who hasn't shown up for the breakfast at the GCAC. Summer will arrive, and he'll tell his sister something is wrong. So he'll call Billy and ask if he's heard from his mom. Billy will say he's on another continent. Why are you checking in? That seems weird. Daniel will tell him he's gotten no calls or texts from Phyllis. By and our daily scoop, Summer asks Chance to track down her mom. Billy will tell Daniel he hasn't heard from Phyllis since last night. He'll hang up and tell Sally that Phyllis' kids are worried. And now you are too, Sally will reply. She'll bring up the fact that Phyllis' car was run off the road. However, Billy will point out the psychos involved are now dead. But he'll leave a message for Phyllis and tell her to call her kids. Sally will ask Billy if he wants to go home to help Summer and Daniel. But Billy will say no, it's their last night there. Phyllis will turn up, Sally say. Back in Genoa City, Summer will tell Daniel they need to call Chance Chancellor. He'll arrive, and they'll tell him their mother is missing. Summer will ask if he could try to track Phyllis down. It would be a step towards making up for everything you put my brother through. Chance will say he'll do whatever he can to help. At Nate's place, he'll tell Amy Lewis he hasn't heard from Damien. She'll say that means he probably flew out last night. I think it's time for me to say goodbye to the both of you and go home as well. But Nate will say it can't end this way. Audra Charles will tell them Damien is still in town. She'll say she just got a text from Holden asking to meet. When Nate asks how Holden has her number, Audra will pretend she has no idea. She'll tell Amy she thinks she can convince Holden to talk some sense into her son. After she leaves, Nate will once again implore Amy to get a second opinion about her diagnosis. He'll say he has a friend he can send her medical records to. Nate also knows his father would want this for her, so she'll reluctantly agree to it. "Thank you for wanting to save me," she'll say. Young and the Restless scoop. No reason for her family to trust him. At Crimson Lights, Damien will tell Holden he's not sticking around Genoa City for his mother. Then Lily will walk in, and he'll tell his friend her name is Lily Winters. My family tree just got a whole more interesting. But he'll explain that Lily's mom and Nate's mom were sisters, so there's no blood relation. Damien will get up from the table and approach her. "Hi, I'm Damien Kane," he'll tell a stunned Lily. She'll say she heard he was headed back to Le. Damien will tell her not just yet. "Look, I don't know you, but I understand your situation," Lily will tell him. "You're still here, so what changed?" Holden will walk up and Damien will introduce them. Lily will say he must be the Damien impersonator, and Damien will say he's a good guy. Holden will get a text from Audra and head out. Lily will again ask Damien why he didn't leave town. "Because of you, I saw this woman who knocked me sideways, and I said to myself, I need to know more about her," he'll reply. Lily will roll her eyes and put Damien on the hot seat about his mother. She'll also ask how he became so successful so fast. Damien will say he made his own success, and by legitimate means. But Lily will add that her family has no reason to trust him. When she starts to walk away, he'll ask her to have dinner with him. "Why don't you ask me again when you've made peace with your mom?" Lily will reply. Finally, Nate will hear someone knocking on his door. He'll get up to answer it, and will be surprised to see his half-brother standing there. Damien will ask if Amy's there and Nate will tell him to come in. Amy's mouth will drop when she sees him. But is Damien going to make peace with his mother? In Friday's episode of The Young and the Restless, tensions soar as Claire Newman's sinister intentions take center stage. Jordan, grappling with growing suspicions, uncovers shocking truths about Claire's motives and her connection to the influential Newman family. What begins as an innocent tea-sharing moment between Claire and Jordan spirals into a harrowing battle of wits, manipulation, and survival. Jordan's intuition flares when Claire presents her with a cup of tea, but quickly intervenes to prevent her from drinking it. This peculiar act ignites a flood of questions in Jordan's mind. Was the tea poisoned? What is Claire truly hiding? Claire's unsettling confidence only deepens Jordan's unease. Determined to get to the bottom of the mystery, Jordan confronts Claire. However, Claire's sharp and domineering attitude leaves her with more questions than answers. Claire cleverly steers the conversation toward Sharon Newman, a pivotal figure within the Newman dynasty, pressuring Jordan to reveal her thoughts. Recognizing the manipulation at play, Jordan grows even more wary, piecing together that Claire's unwavering loyalty to Sharon is a dangerous sign of the Newman family's control. As the episode progresses, Jordan's world is thrown further into chaos. The police launch a frantic manhunt, accusing Jordan of involvement in an unspecified incident. Claire seizes the opportunity to offer Jordan her help, claiming she can provide a safe haven. Yet Claire's confidence and ties to the Newmans make her intentions highly suspect. Jordan realizes accepting this offer could place her directly under the Newman family's thumb, potentially sealing her fate. Through a series of tense exchanges, Jordan uncovers a horrifying truth. Claire has been brainwashed by the Newmans. No longer the friend Jordan once trusted, Claire has become a tool of the powerful family, willing to do whatever it takes to protect their interests. Claire's manipulation, blind loyalty to Sharon, and overconfidence all point to her deep entanglement in the Newman family's schemes. Jordan faces an agonizing decision. Should she trust Claire and risk entrapment, or should she continue to evade capture, knowing the odds are stacked against her? Meanwhile, the Newman family rallies to confront the escalating crisis. Victor and Nick Newman arrive at a warehouse where Jordan has taken control. Despite being cornered, Jordan remains defiant, issuing chilling threats that strike fear into the family. She demands money and a guaranteed escape route, even offering to take Claire or Victoria Newman hostage to ensure her demands are met. Victor, ever the strategic patriarch, counters Jordan's threats with calculated patience, refusing to back down. Elsewhere, Sharon Newman battles her own demons. Trapped in a haze of fear and disillusionment, she finds strength in the memory of Nick, whose imagined encouragement rekindles her resolve. Determined to break free from her captors and reunite with her loved ones, Sharon begins her own fight for freedom. In a surprising subplot, Ian Ward resurfaces, seeking redemption from Tessa Porter and Mariah Copeland. His attempts at reconciliation are met with Mariah's unrelenting fury, leaving no room for forgiveness. This confrontation underscores the lasting scars of betrayal and the difficulty of letting go of the past. As the Newman family faces one of its most dangerous challenges, yet unity and determination become their greatest weapons. Victor's leadership, Nick and Victoria's teamwork, and Nikki's calm resolve drive their efforts to outmaneuver Jordan. Amid the chaos, Sharon's eventual return offers a glimmer of hope, though the family knows the battle is far from over. The episode concludes with Jordan's fate hanging in the balance and the Newman family more resolute than ever to protect their own. The intricate web of loyalty, betrayal, and power struggles within the young and the restless delivers another gripping chapter, leaving fans eager for the next twist. Will the Newmans outsmart Jordan, or will her schemes claim another victim? Stay tuned to find out. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, February 20, suggest some bombshells in the land of Genoa City as sweeps month rolls on. Someone wants some intel, ASAP, while two characters are shocked by an unexpected visitor, and another is rubbed the wrong way by a bond. What's said to unravel during Thursday's show? Time to find out. Audra Charles wants information. In an interesting twist, Audra Charles will press Holden Novak for intel. This is unexpected to say the least, as Audra was literally telling Holden to stay away from her mere days ago. The two have a past connection that the brunette doesn't want anyone in GC finding out about. Still, it sounds like she'll push her concerns aside to gather some information from Holden. With that said, the bigger question is, will Holden reveal anything to Audra about Damian Kane? Nate Hastings and Amy Lewis get an unexpected visitor. Speaking of, Damian will shock both Nate Hastings and Amy Lewis with a visit. He was headed out of Genoa City, back to Los Angeles, but it looks like something will stop him from doing so. Will he rethink his choice regarding his mom? Can the two reconnect before she passes away? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Sally Spectra bothered by Philly bond. Lastly, Sally Spectra will be bothered by the bond that Phyllis Summers has with Billy Abbott during the February 20 show. The two did once have a steamy romance and have worked well together in the past. Will Sally pick up on the chemistry between Billy and Phyllis, or how sync they are at work? Either way, seeing them together will rub her the wrong way. Will Red pick up on Sally's negative energy? Is a Philly reunion on the horizon? Are you excited about Thursday's episode? Join the conversation below. Check out the Y and R on CBS Daily for your fill of Genoa City drama, and visit SOS often for all the best Young and the Restless updates, news, and spoilers. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Kyle Abbott is falling hard for Claire Newman. But what about Summer Newman and the love they used to share? Who does Kyle truly belong with, Summer, Claire, or someone else? Kyle and Claire are happy for the most part, but Victor Newman's disapproval of their relationship could be their downfall. The show's also stirring up concerns about jealous Summer's sabotage, so that could be another big problem. However, Summer is mostly just an annoying interloper in this story so far. I&Rs making Summer and Victor seem like villainous obstacles that Kyle and Claire need to overcome. With that in mind, it's possible that Claire and Kyle will conquer the challenges ahead of them. There may be some bleak moments and maybe even a temporary split, but there's a chance Kyle and Claire have become the couple to root for. That said, this storyline feels similar to one that played out in the past. Back when Kyle tried to convince himself he was meant to be with Lola Roselle's Sasha Calais. Lola was put on a perfect pedestal while Summer was the problematic schemer. Kyle couldn't fight his true feelings and ultimately ended up back with Summer, since fate has a way of reuniting them over and over. Now that Summer and Kyle are co-parents to Harrison Abbott, Redding Munsell, they have another reason to get pulled back together. If history is any indication, then Kyle isn't done with Summer for good. Victor may be right about Summer always coming first, so perhaps that's a fact that Claire will have to accept down the road. This Claire, Kyle, and Summer love triangle is definitely going to heat up in the coming episodes. Do you think Kyle is meant to be with Claire, or should he reunite with Summer? Of course, if you aren't a fan of either pairing, maybe you think Kyle should be paired up with someone else or even shipped off-screen. Regardless, Kyle's romantic life is taking center stage thanks to all the drama that's bubbling up, so stick with us for more predictions on what's in store for him. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Kyle may have to make some updates to his perspective along the way, so stay tuned for news on how that'll affect Claire and Summer. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, February 20, 2025 are here. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Audra Charles to grill Holden Novak. Meanwhile, Sally Spectre worries about Billy Abbott's bond with Phyllis Summers. Audra Charles' secret. Ever since Holden ran into Audra, he's been wanting to see her again. It turns out that Audra and Holden have a scandalous past together. Audra is desperate to protect her relationship with Nate Hastings. However, Audra has to be careful because the more she pushes Nate to accept Damian Kane's stance, the more he gets suspicious about the reason. Holden Novak interrogated. Audra didn't want to meet with Holden again. However, Audra will agree so she can figure out what the real deal is with Damian. Nate is being so pushy about reuniting Damian with his dying mother, Amy Lewis. However, Holden drops a bomb on Nate and Amy. This is likely the news that Damian and Holden are going to be sticking around in Genoa City. Since Damian wants nothing to do with his mother, it will be interesting to learn why he's staying in town. Sally Spectre's jealousy. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sally and Billy will still be in Paris together. However, with Phyllis Summers' dream and her seemingly going missing, could she show up in Paris? After all, Daniel Romalotti Jr. did say that Phyllis suddenly was MIA. Summer Newman brushed it off, but Daniel seems to have a gut feeling. Is the reason why Phyllis has gone missing is because she's on her way to Paris? If Phyllis shows up and Billy doesn't send her away, it could make Sally wonder. Thursday, February 20, 2025. Even if Phyllis doesn't show up, could Daniel's gut be warning him that something isn't quite right? Remember, Ian Ward is presumed dead, but he opened his eyes in the ambulance. Could Ian's reign of terror not be over quite yet, even with everyone believing he died? There is also the spiraling situation between Victor Newman and Jack Abbott. Even though Victor rules his family with an iron fist, Claire Grace Newman is showing herself to be just as stubborn to be with Kyle Abbott, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sally Spectra is currently dating Billy Abbott. The soap spends a lot of time trying to get fans invested in this pairing, but it's just not working. So, could Sally face a temptation that leads her to find love with someone new? Keep reading and let's talk about the possibilities. Billy Abbott's fizzled romance. Even though Billy and Sally are currently a couple, they are pretty gag-worthy. The soap keeps trying to play up the romance, the long talks, the trip to Paris, but alas, fans just aren't feeling it. Billy has more of an uncle vibe than a lover vibe, personally, which makes the intimate scenes even worse. While the romance is still on, it's already fizzled and never should have begun in many fans' books. Phyllis Summer's dream. Plus, it seems there might be more romantic shakeups happening in Genoa City. Phyllis Summers recently had a passionate dream about Billy. There was also Adam Newman's dream on Valentine's Day. In that dream, both Sally and Chelsea Lawson made appearances. While some fans would like Adam and Sally together, it would be far more interesting for her to tangle with someone different. Sally Spectra's temptation. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sally has been a good girl for quite some time. Sally is overdue to cause some trouble or commit a sin. Could Sally face temptation? One good option might be Daniel Romalotti Jr. Not only do Daniel and Sally seem like a more realistic pairing, but just imagine Phyllis' head imploding. Josh Griffith's hint. In an interview with TV Insider, executive producer and head writer Josh Griffith gave a hint of what's coming up for 2025. The scribe mentioned that Daniel will embark on a new path. While Josh didn't say it was romantic in nature, he did say it would be on the emotional wild side. A romance with Daniel right now wouldn't be right as he's still grieving Heather Stevens. However, down the line, it would be a good option. Plus, Sally has already shown she's good with her former partner's child. Connor Newman was a boy and much younger. So it might be interesting to see Sally struggling with a stepmom role, especially to fill the shoes of someone like Heather. Sally has grown so much over the past few years. While Sally did get pregnant once, that baby sadly passed away. It would be nice to see Sally in a mother-type role. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, February 20, 2025 are here. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Audra Charles to grill Holden Novak. Meanwhile, Sally Spectra worries about Billy Abbott's bond with Phyllis Summers. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. Audra Charles' secret. Ever since Holden ran into Audra, he's been wanting to see her again. It turns out that Audra and Holden have a scandalous past together. Audra is desperate to protect her relationship with Nate Hastings. However, Audra has to be careful because the more she pushes Nate to accept Damian Kane's stance, the more he gets suspicious about the reason. Holden Novak interrogated. Audra didn't want to meet with Holden again. However, Audra will agree so she can figure out what the real deal is with Damian. Nate is being so pushy about reuniting Damian with his dying mother, Amy Lewis. However, Holden drops a bomb on Nate and Amy. This is likely the news that Damian and Holden are going to be sticking around in Genoa City. Since Damian wants nothing to do with his mother, it will be interesting to learn why he's staying in town. Sally Spectra's jealousy. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sally and Billy will still be in Paris together. However, with Phyllis Summers' dream and her seemingly going missing, could she show up in Paris? After all, Daniel Romalotti Jr. did say that Phyllis suddenly was MIA. Summer Newman brushed it off, but Daniel seems to have a gut feeling. Is the reason why Phyllis has gone missing is because she's on her way to Paris? If Phyllis shows up and Billy doesn't send her away, it could make Sally wonder. Thursday, February 20, 2025. Even if Phyllis doesn't show up, could Daniel's gut be warning him that something isn't quite right? Remember, Ian Ward is presumed dead, but he opened his eyes in the ambulance. Could Ian's reign of terror not be over quite yet, even with everyone believing he died? There is also the spiraling situation between Victor Newman and Jack Abbott. Even though Victor rules his family with an iron fist, Claire Grace Newman is showing herself to be just as stubborn to be with Kyle Abbott, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what is coming up next. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, February 20, reveal that Sally Spectra will be jealous over Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers' connection while Audra Charles grills Holden Novak. First, let's talk about Holden, who will secretly meet up with Audra again. Audra was hesitant to even take this meeting, so she'll want to make sure the risk is worth it in the end. That's why Audra will put Holden through a grilling session and push for Damian Kane intel. Audra may have questions about Damian's business and how he became such a success story so quickly. Of course, Audra will still be hoping that Holden and Damian are headed back to Los Angeles ASAP. Bad news is coming up for Audra, instead, since she'll eventually find out Damian and Holden are sticking around. R spoilers say Damian will deliver a shocker to Nate Hastings and Amy Lewis on Thursday's episode. Damian may admit he mulled it over and is now open to trying to make amends with his sick mom. Damian might even consider getting to know Nate and bonding with him as his half-brother. However, Nate will keep his guard up when it comes to Damian, especially after this apparent change of heart. It could leave Nate worried about Damian's motives, so he'll definitely want to watch out for Amy and try to help her avoid any further heartbreak. In Paris, Sally won't be able to hide her true feelings when it comes to Billy and Phyllis' connection. It's possible Phyllis could crash the trip in person, but it's also possible she'll just resort to more calls, texts, and voicemails. Whatever the case, Sally's jealousy will bubble up a bit when it comes to Phyllis and Billy's bond. Even if Sally doesn't view Phyllis as a romantic threat just yet, she might voice complaints about Phyllis' constant interruptions. Sally may also have concerns about Phyllis' reckless side and how she might bring out Billy's worst impulses. Although Sally will have multiple reasons to worry about these exes working together, Billy may offer reassurance and suggest Phyllis is harmless, even if she's been annoying lately. Our and our predictions point to Phyllis pursuing Billy and trying to steal him away from Sally, especially after that hot dream she had. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Phyllis will make some bold moves in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for updates on all the curveballs ahead. So where do you want to be for the hottest Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so drop by regularly for more details. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman might play the hero for missing Phyllis Summers. Is a surprise rescue brewing that could change how Phyllis and her loved ones feel about Sharon? And our fans know Phyllis shut down the idea that she could ever forgive Sharon for framing Daniel Romalotti Jr. Between Sharon dumping Heather Stevens' body in the river and setting Daniel up in the aftermath, it's just too much for Phyllis to get past. However, Sharon was on PCP at the time and obviously wasn't in her right mind. Ian Ward and Jordan are really the ones to blame when it comes to Heather's fate and Daniel's pain. Still, Sharon is holding out hope that she can somehow make amends for her part in all the drama. Maybe Sharon will have her chance now that Phyllis has suddenly gone missing. When viewers last saw Phyllis, she was waking up from a romantic dream that involved visiting Billy Abbott in Paris. It's possible Phyllis is off trying to make that dream a reality, but it seems weird for her to leap out of bed for a flight and skip the breakfast she planned with her kids. It's Billy and Sally Spectra's last night in Paris anyway, so that feels like a giant waste of time. Plus, it's not like Phyllis to go radio silent on Daniel and Summer Newman. Phyllis knows what she put her children through when she faked her demise, and more recently, Daniel and Summer had to worry due to Phyllis' car crash. It'd make more sense for Phyllis to send a cryptic text about some special project she's working on if she was off making her usual mischief. In other words, the fact that Phyllis isn't contacting her kids could point to her being in real trouble. It's worth mentioning that Ian is still alive based on what fans saw in the ambulance. Even so, Ray Wise talked about wrapping his run in an interview with Soda and admitted he still doesn't know what happened after that ambulance ride. That could mean Ian isn't tied to Phyllis' disappearance at all. Ian was seriously injured and would probably be focused on Sharon or Maria Copeland if he'd recovered enough to target people again. Bottom line, our predictions hint that Phyllis might be stuck in a risky situation, but it seems doubtful that Ian is involved. There are plenty of other paths to danger on a soap, so that's important to remember here. My and our preview info for 2025 pointed to Sharon and Phyllis reassessing their relationship after facing a life-threatening ordeal. Perhaps that means Sharon will come to Phyllis' rescue, no matter what type of mess she's gotten herself into. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the truth behind Phyllis' disappearance will be revealed soon, so stay tuned for updates on all the stunning news ahead. It's the place to be for terrific Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates, so make us your top source. The Young and the Restless star Doug Davidson is back, but it might not be exactly what you were thinking. Still, it's good news. Keep reading below for everything you need to know. The Young and the Restless star Doug Davidson is back. As many of our readers are aware of, General Hospital star Maurice Benard has his own YouTube series called State of Mind. He invites many daytime television stars to talk about their past, their present, and of course, their future hopes and aspirations. Morris has had numerous stars on his show from all of the major soaps that are on the air right now. He most recently spoke with Sharon Case, who plays Sharon Newman on The Young and the Restless. Well, many of Morris's social media followers have asked him about former The Young and the Restless star Doug Davidson, who was best known on the show as Paul Williams. It turns out that Doug has agreed to be on State of Mind, and that it's only a matter of time before they start filming his episode. How exciting is that? Doug Davidson is going to be on State of Mind. A lot of fans can't help but wonder what Doug is going to talk about, but there's no doubt that he will mention all the drama surrounding his departure from The Young and the Restless. Not only that, but Doug will also talk about his past and what he's been up to ever since he left the daytime television world. It's one episode that you won't want to miss. So far, Doug Davidson himself has not made any comments about the matter just yet, but there's no doubt that his fans cannot wait for this episode of State of Mind to air. It's going to be one for the books, everyone. We will definitely update you with all of the latest details as they come in. The Young and the Restless airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. In the meantime, let us know what you think by leaving us a line with your thoughts in our comments section below. Also, don't forget to come back right here for all the latest news and updates on your favorite celebrities, along with the latest spoilers from The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives. At Society, Claire asks Victor if there's really nothing she and Kyle can do to change his mind about their relationship. Victor obstinately says, nothing. Nikki walks in, looks at their faces, and asks, "What did I miss?" Across the room, Daniel tells Summer he wants to leave since she's fixating on Kyle and Claire. Summer will stop. She insists she's not jealous, only concerned. Daniel challenges her to prove it. "Let's go." Claire tells her that her grandfather made it clear there is nothing Kyle can say or do to change his opinion of their relationship. Summer agrees to leave, and Kyle watches them walk out. At Kyle's table, Nikki asks her husband what he was thinking. Victor says Kyle spoke his piece, and nothing he said changed his opinion of his character. Claire says he's being unfair. Kyle came in good faith, Victor won't budge. He knows there will be trouble, and he doesn't want her to have any part of it. Kyle and Nikki want to know what he means by that. Victor says the Abbotts are a disaster waiting to happen. Kyle asks if this is about his parents. Their bond is stronger than ever. How can he be so sure there's going to be trouble, unless you plan on causing it yourself? Victor glares. Michael comes clean. Michael and Lauren arrive at the Jazz Lounge bar, and she realizes something is going on with him. Let's get it out, and then we can go back to having a lovely evening. He tells her Victor has a new plan for war on the Abbotts, and he hates it. It's as nasty as ever, and to what end? Why can't the man just let things go? Lauren wishes she knew and rants about what Diane and Jack went through the last time. Michael warns his boss is determined to strip them of every last shred of happiness. Lauren and Michael think Victor needs a new hobby. Lauren reminds Michael that she warned him about these situations arising if he went back to work for the man. Maybe, just maybe, you should have listened to me. Michael is as faithful to Victor as it gets. Lauren knows what Victor means to him. He never left his side even during the shooting. She wants to know what actually happened that night, but Michael says, there's nothing to see here. Lauren complains that he's avoiding her question. She needs to know how much danger he was in. She'll hold his olives hostage until he tells her everything she wants to know. Start talking. Michael will tell her exactly what they told Chance. He had a meeting with Victor, and Nick and Adam were there. At some point, Ian showed up wanting vengeance for Jordan's death. He grabbed the security guard's gun and came clean about everything. Then he announced he was going to shoot them all, but Victor saved the day by taking the bullet meant for Nikki. He and Ian struggled over the gun, and Ian died. Lauren fumes that Michael had nothing to do with this. Why didn't Victor demand Ian let him leave? Michael says he did, but he stayed. Lauren's unimpressed as Michael explains the underlying respect he gets from Victor. He's family and he wasn't going anywhere. Lauren exclaims, even if you could have gotten killed. Michael's only regret is that he couldn't prevent Victor from being shot. More, visit the Y&R set. Lauren knows Michael didn't get the father he deserved. It does her heart good to know he has someone strong like Victor to rely on, but that man ticks her off way too often. He could have died that night. No amount of loyalty would have been able to fill the hole left in her and Fenn's lives if that had happened. Michael's sorry he put what they had at risk, but only Ian died. He and Jordan took Heather's life and nearly destroyed Phyllis and Sharon's. He got exactly what he deserved. Lauren wipes away her tears. Now tell me the rest. She knows he crossed the line of the legal truth. More, Y&R alum and family dealt a crushing blow. In bed in their suite, Diane promises Jack he'll be thrilled with the results at the house. He tells her she was right. This little getaway was exactly what he needed. Diane loves being alone. We should do this more often. He likes the way she thinks. Diane decides they need food. She wants to get dressed and go to society. Summer snaps at Daniel. Daniel and Summer arrive at the GCAC, with Daniel leaving Phyllis a voicemail about her radio silence and asking for a call back. Summer wonders if she zipped off to Paris to meet with Billy. Daniel points out they're all supposed to meet up for breakfast tomorrow, and she's the one who planned it. Summer reminds him their mom tends to chase after the shiniest object. She's sure Phyllis is fine. Daniel muses that she couldn't get her to stop texting and calling before he accepted the offer, and now he can't get in touch. It's not like their mom. Summer feels that there must be an explanation. Maybe their mom lost her phone. Daniel points out she's practically attached to her phone. Summer suggests they go upstairs and see if she's asleep. Daniel doesn't want to do that, but it's hard not to worry about her. Summer reminds him the people who are the real threat are dead now. She's sure Phyllis has just gone down an Abbott Communications rabbit hole. They agree to wait until breakfast. If she doesn't show, then they can worry. Daniel teases Summer about being a Phyllis knockoff. Summer says she's not a knockoff, she's kosher. But their mother has a lot of qualities she aspires to. She's just not a jealous stalker. Daniel urges her to make sure she doesn't become one. More, the return of a notorious schemer. As the night continues, Daniel jokes that he hopes Kyle and Claire don't show up to ruin Summer's mood. She gets irritated and he apologizes. Daniel couldn't help but think there's still something there. Summer insists she doesn't care who Kyle's dating. Daniel says, as long as it's not Audra or Claire. Summer yelps, "Stop!" Daniel reminds her she's back on track with Chance and shouldn't be obsessing over Kyle. Summer informs him that he's the only person at the table who is obsessing. Daniel asks what's going on. Is she not back on track with Chance? Summer doesn't know. After the way he treated Daniel and the way he was with Lucy and their mom during the investigation, she doesn't know what to think. Daniel shrugs that he was just doing his job. He wants his sister to be happy. If that's with Chance, great. He's just concerned that she's so worried about Kyle's love life when she claims to be over him. Summer accuses him of sounding like Mom. Daniel just thought she might need someone to talk to. Summer is fine and doesn't want to argue about this anymore. Can we please just leave it at that? Daniel turns his attention to the menu selection, but Summer's not hungry anymore. She begs off to do work. Daniel apologizes for screwing up their dinner. Summer asks that they declare Kyle a topic that's off the table and walks away. New, what happened between Amy and Damien? Victor crosses paths with Diane and Jack. At Society, Victor tells the table that Diane and Jack will self-destruct and Kyle and Claire will be caught in the middle of it. Kyle complains that this is based on nothing more than his hatred for his family. Nikki says Jack and Diane have nothing to do with Kyle and Claire's relationship. Kyle tells Victor his argument is about his feelings about his parents. Victor tells him he broke Summer's heart, and he isn't going to do the same thing to Claire. Kyle says he and Summer are in a very good place. Victor booms, "You're not the right man for Claire." Kyle declares this to be ridiculous. Victor promises that a continued relationship between the two of them will be a massive mistake. He tells Kyle, "It's up to you to make it right." Kyle takes Claire's hand. "That's exactly what I plan to do." Victor warns if he hurts his granddaughter, he'll answer to him. With that, he walks out. Jack and Diane enter as he nears the door. More, vote. Which me and our dream couple should reunite? Jack and Diane needle Victor, including about buying up Glissade. Victor tells them to enjoy their fabricated bliss. It won't last. Jack and Diane join Kyle's table. Jack asks what they missed. Nikki sniffs, "Trust me, you don't want to know." Jack and Diane get in the loop, and Diane says Victor wants to control his granddaughter's life the way he wants to control everyone around him. Kyle relays that he's sure the House of Abbott will fall again. Diane says he needs to mind his own business. Kyle says that's not going to happen. Jack hopes this isn't scaring Claire away. Kyle says, "It's not, is it?" Claire won't be scared off by her grandfather, but it breaks her heart that he won't give them a chance. She asks Nikki to talk to him. She'll try again, but can't make any promises. Diane snorts that he's stubborn and vengeful. Nikki says those are two things she would know about. Jack and Kyle figure Victor's plotting something against their family as they speak. Nikki's so tired of this ongoing war. He took a bullet for his family, but can't see that what Jack did for her was just as heroic. Diane rolls her eyes. Victor knows Jack's a better man than he could ever be. Jack is sick that he's dragged Kyle and Claire into the middle of this latest battle. Nikki warns, "Brace yourselves. This is far from over." Michael and Lauren are interrupted. In the jazz lounge, Michael tells Lauren he doesn't want to get into legalities with her. She exclaims, "I knew it." He thinks that all she needs to know is that Chance and the police are satisfied. He admits he sometimes leaves a fact or two out, but he sleeps quite soundly knowing that Chance got the truth he needed to hear. "You should sleep equally well, preferably in my arms." Lauren worries that whatever he did will come back to bite him. He'll always be dodging bullets for Victor. Michael doesn't want to talk about Victor anymore. He tells Lauren she looks gorgeous tonight, and he adores her. He stands and pulls her onto the dance floor, spinning her around and kissing her cheek. Michael decides they should go upstairs. They kiss. Lauren purrs, "Now you're talking." At the ranch, Victor pours a scotch and pulls out his phone. More. Betrayal will blow up a fan-fave couple. At the GCAC, Michael and Lauren shut the door of their suite as they kiss and start undressing. Michael tells Lauren he adores her, and they head to the bed. As he unzips her dress and kisses her shoulder, Victor calls. Lauren looks at her husband pointedly. He ignores the call, dropping the phone on the nightstand. At the ranch, Victor leaves Michael a voicemail saying he wants as much information about Jabbat's future plans as possible, and he wants it ASAP.